Welcome to the Art of Microscopy and Life in a Drop of Water module. My name is Stephanie, and today I'm going to be walking you through how to use your microscope to view a wet mount of dirty water samples. Before we get started, make sure you have all of the kit materials for this module on hand. This should be your microscope, glass slides, prepared slides, cover slips, Sharpie, hay infusion and dirty water samples, which you will be getting yourself. Ensure that whenever you do use them, you shake them and try and use as dirty of samples as possible. That's where you'll see the good stuff. Then we have gloves on hand. However, for this lab, you will not be needing to use them since we'll not be using any like hazardous chemicals or infectious reagents. Then let's begin by going over the parts of your microscope. Start by turning on your microscope using the switch button on the side. Pushing the switch button towards 1 turns on the bottom LED light, which is used for viewing slides by illuminating the stage. There's also a top LED light, which can be turned on by pushing the switch into position 2. This is primarily used for viewing solid objects from above. For example, a penny. So here we can go ahead and go over to the 4X, which is an objective lens, which I'll talk about in a little. And then you could go ahead and view some of the ridges and everything from above. However, in this course, we'll mostly be using position 1. Then here is the central platform, which is called the stage, and it has 2 little metal clips to hold down your slide. While it is nice to use them to make sure that your slide isn't moving around, in this class, we will be wanting to move around and find everything that there is in the slide. So typically, it is nice to go ahead and put it like this, so you can go ahead and move them around as you wish. However, that is personal preference. Then at the front of the stage here is a dial that can be used to change the contrast while using the slides. And you will see that some make them brighter, some make them darker, and there is a few that are colored too. If your slide happens to be stained, different colors might help you view certain slides better. In this class, mostly we'll be using the clear ones. However, yet again, that is up to personal preference. Above the stage, you have 3 objective lenses, which are used to magnify your specimen image by 4x, 10x, and 40x. The part of the microscope that you look through is called the eyepiece and further magnifies the image by 10x, in addition to your objective magnification. You can determine the final image magnification by multiplying the eyepiece and objective magnification values together. For example, if you're viewing your specimen on the 4x setting, your image is being magnified by 4 times 10 for a final magnification of 40x. Finally, the dual knobs on the bottom of the microscope's neck can be used to focus the image by moving the stage up and down. You will need to become familiar with the parts of the microscope as you will be expected to use it throughout the rest of the course. To practice becoming comfortable with your microscope, we're going to walk you through viewing either wet mounts of your hay infusion and dirty samples. Here today, we actually have some prepared slides, which you will also be given as part of your kit. You might have slightly different prepared slides that we're showing here. And this specific one is actually one that is stained. Yours might or might not be. So first we start by putting the slide on the stage. And like I mentioned earlier, you can either put it to hold down on the clamps or just put it on the side like I will be doing here. Then be sure to turn on the bottom LED light, which is 1, and bring it to the lowest objective lens. So that would be your 4x lens. Now, while viewing the slide, making sure there's something on there, you can go ahead and slowly turn the objective until your slide is in focus. Now, you can go ahead and change the lens either to the 10x or the 40x for greater magnification, making sure that each time you ensure it is still in focus by adjusting the focusing knob on the side. And at this point, you can start slightly moving the slide around to see all of the things your slide has to offer. Sometimes you'll even find moving microorganisms that you'll have to follow around. And now, if you wanted to go ahead and take a picture of whatever was on your slide, you can actually just use your phone's camera. If you go ahead and place your phone's lens onto the microscope, let's see, and position it just right, you can actually take a picture of whatever is on there. Now, certain cameras actually have multiple lenses, so people have difficulty taking a good picture. If this is the case, you can actually download the app Snapchat and use their camera to do so. It ensures that it's only using one of the lenses in your camera, and that way you'll be able to take pictures to put on your ELN or just for personal preference. Now, here we did have just the 2 samples in the prepared slide. You are not limited to what samples you can go ahead and look at. If you have multiple samples you want to test, you're more than welcome to do so. So please have fun now that you know how to use your microscope, and get to exploring.